My name's Washboardjim, the founder of the Sneaky Snake trading strategy. It just now turned into Power Hour, and I want to talk about a trade that I called out first thing this morning about being aware, being in the now, knowing how to chart, and knowing when you got a solid support and when you need to start looking at a stock, and what opportunities a knife can give you. So my name's Washboardjim, the founder of the Sneaky Snake trading strategy, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. So I'm a big fan of PLTR. I used to hate it. When it first came out, I thought the guy that ran the company was really a freak. But he proved me wrong. He proved to me that he was more of a man than a freak. I didn't like the way he looked. He come out on, we were trading the stock about 5 or 6 years ago. We were all fairly bullish on it. And he came out and he was interviewed by CNBC. They asked him, because it had such a great run, they said, do you think this stock is worth investing in? And his answer was, no, there's better stocks to invest in right now. And that kind of threw me off for a CEO like that to say something like that. So I was bearish on it, run it all the way down to $5 from 40. Shorted it. It pissed me off. So the cult that was following the stock decided to go ahead and pump it. I kept telling him, I said, this stock's going to dive. Didn't you listen to what the CEO said? His stock ain't worth buying. Why do you want to buy it? I knew it was worth buying, but I wasn't going to buy it because of that sentiment. And then something happened last year, and it really turned me around. And this is when I started falling in love with the CEO. He was the only Democrat out there that stood up against the genocide that happened in Israel. And when he stood up for that genocide, he didn't stand up for it, he stood up against it. I don't know if he was Jewish or not. Probably is. Big liberal, though, at the time. And I just changed my whole heart about him. So at that moment, I started buying. I was bullish on the stock. And that's where I come from, my background with PLTR. I don't think I'll ever be like that with Microsoft, because I can't stand Bill Gates and his perverted attitude and how he drugged his wife. So a lot of institutional traders will trade off the CEO. Like if they get a new CEO and they like him, they will pump and dump the stock for a short period of time just because they got a new CEO to turn things around. So that's something always to think of when you're in a trade or you're watching a real good stock, and maybe the CEO got busted for cheating on his wife, having an affair, giving her diamonds and gold, and then he gets fired, and they try to put somebody else in there. See, you don't mess around with people you work with. If you do, have the idea that you might have to quit. So I called this stock out. This stock's had a pretty good little run. Well, it's had more than a pretty good little run. It's fell back quite a bit from the run that it's had. Now it's still way up. Don't take me wrong. This thing run all the way from 207 down to 1368 in 3 years. And if I put 4 years on here, $5 years, we were down here at 584, and that's when I started calling the stock out, saying we might have hit a bottom. But then when the genocide happened and he stood up, this stock totally turned around. just started flying. So we're at a serious support level right now, and I think it's in scalping area. I don't know if I'd want to swing it until you've seen it down here between the 200 SMA and EMA on the weekly. But we're going to go to the daily. But on the weekly, we're at a solid support. We got an inverse head and shoulders on the weekly. We could be bouncing off the 100 EMA. The daily, we got an inverse head and shoulders. We've consolidated on this for a week. We got a hammer. So when I saw this morning, this knife, I called it out. It broke out, so we had to snake. We had to snake, and I'm going to teach you how to trade. How to trade the snake. So you draw the channel in, you wait for the breakout, and you look for the pattern to form. It's that simple. You want to make a ton of money and buy the bottoms? Nobody talks about this. Nobody can trade the snake like this. Let it break out of the channel, pull back, and let it prevent some kind of pattern. So we have two patterns. We have a triple bottom. We have an inverse head and shoulders. And we got a wedge. Little symmetrical wedge. So if you can count to 4, and if you can count to 3, you can seriously trade with me. If you can count to 4, you can seriously make a lot more. So we've got the snake, the breakout, the pullback, wedge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. She breaks out of the wedge, pulls back and retests the previous resistance. This is where you want to get into the trade. She breaks out with a triple top. If you can count to 3, you can trade with me. I've made it so easy for people to make money. I don't give a crap about money. So after you break out of the flag, after you break out of the flag, you got a triple top. If you miss that trade, the triple top, always wait for the pullback. What was resistance now becomes support off the 63 EMA. Run it up to the 200 and get out of the trade. Consolidate, respected the 200. Little scalp. So we got snake, breakout into a wedge, symmetrical flag, pulled back to the previous resistance, and then broke out to the 200 and you're out of the trade. If you can just have that set up, copy and paste it. Snake, breakout, pullback, boom. Higher lows. Higher lows. So that's the sneaky snake trading strategy. I called it. I think this is in scalping territory now that I called it at that pullback on that weekly time frame. Scalp it until the market starts to get better, then go long. My name's Washboardjim. I'm the founder of the Sneaky Snake Trading Strategy, where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now.